So, I don't think I've mentioned what I'm doing tonight. I hope you can hear me. I'm going to the premiere of The Importance of Being Earnest, and I actually managed to get a ticket through one of the producers, which is so cool. So I went to collect it, and I was a bit unsure, and I wasn't sure if I could go in because there was a pink carpet and there were camera crew and all sorts happening, security, but I asked someone and they said go in, and I went in, and there was a box office, which is where I thought I had to go, but then there was a separate stand that said producer and friend tickets, and I was like, that is so cool. So I went there, gave the name, got a pink envelope, I'll show you later, and I'm about to meet my friend who's coming to see it with me. I'm very excited. This is so cool, and I'm also dressed up. I don't usually wear something like this, but it makes me very happy, so I'm in good spirits. Let's see what happens. See, this is what I was wearing today. I haven't even seen it until right now. Let me take the jacket off because this is the pièce de résistance. One moment. Okay, here I am. So the reason why this is a big deal is because my grandma gave me this and begged me to wear it and to keep it, but I'm not keeping it. I am going to bring it back. But I love the dress, although Slight secret, I couldn't zip it up all the way, so it's hiding behind this, but I am now very, very sweaty, and I've got to tell you about some things. So let me turn you around, let me get this thing off, and let's chat. Okay, so I didn't take this off, but whatever. I had a great evening. It was really, really good. I really enjoyed it. It was really fun. It was very well done. The characterization and the direction was so good, and the costumes and the set. It was just all really, really good. I like the actors especially, but also the director. I loved it. We also had amazing seats, probably some of the best seats I've ever had. And also we were surrounded by people. In front of me was a reviewer who I check their website every time I've seen a show myself to see if they sort of agree with the things I've thought and felt. And 90% of the time they do. So it was very cool to be sat behind them. And then downstairs in the stalls we could see David Tennant, which was pretty cool. And there were a couple of other faces that we either recognised or that my friend knew. So that was cool. But just, yeah, the whole experience was so cool. And I'm so glad and I'm so grateful that I've had this opportunity. It's so cool. Before I went, I've been trying to get my hands on a book for Dear Hopefuls. I've been struggling. We'll work on that later on. But one of the things I was doing while it was quiet at work was trying to find libraries that let anyone in. And I found 2 in central London that lets anyone join as long as they're from either London or the UK, which is amazing, plus my own local one. So I found that there's one on sort of, I don't think it's on Charing Cross Road, but it's very near Charing Cross. It's called the Charing Cross Library. And I'm so thrilled. So I signed up, I went in with my documents and like got a library card. But I love that because I very often have time to kill before shows, and when it's nice weather, sure, I can sit outside, but I don't love being outside. And I really hate having to pay money to like sit in a cafe or whatever. So I love the idea that I can just go to a library. Oh my gosh, how lovely. So that was like a win-win-win, except that they didn't have the book, but we'll work on that. But as I was on my way home from the theatre, I got an email through with a self-tape request, which is very exciting. I'm always very grateful. But there is some irony in this one, in the sense that it is for a Jewish role, and the due date is this Friday. Now, you probably don't know, but it is currently Tuesday night. Tomorrow night starts the most holy day of the Jewish calendar, and it goes all the way through until Thursday. So it leaves very little time for Jewish people to be able to do it. Thought I heard someone, but not. So I think what I'm going to try and do is write down everything before Yom Kippur starts. What was that? Before Yom Kippur starts. I noticed this when I was in Holland too. If I'm sort of speaking another language and then go back into English, that rotic R comes out. My accent changes. But yeah, plan is to write it down hopefully tonight, try and learn it over the 25 hours of Yom Kippur that I'm not in shul. And then when I'm absolutely exhausted and parched, Thursday night, try and film it. It's gonna be messy, but it's very little notice, and I do feel good about sort of the style, and it's not a lot to learn, so hopefully it will be okay, but we're just gonna have to do our best and see what happens. If I by some miracle can learn it by tomorrow before Yom Kippur starts, I don't think that's gonna happen, but that would obviously be the better time to do it. But I finish work at 2 and I need to leave home around 5. So that gives 3 hours to also make sure that I've eaten and drunk enough, plus, learn the lines, plus put on makeup for the self-tape, but then take it off because you're not supposed to have anything on your skin or anything like that during Yom Kippur. So I think trying to do it tomorrow after work is going to be tight, and I think it's more realistic to do it Thursday night, but I will be so tired and just have nothing. But we're just gonna do our best, and that's it. My camera, I think, is getting quite full. I do actually still have an hour worth of filming, which is great, but I know I've been using it a lot recently. So did I ever tell you about coming home, by the way? So we were an hour delayed on my flight home. Such fun. And I kind of got to the point where I was saying to myself, if I can get home by midnight, that's a win for me. And I literally walked through the door about 3 minutes before midnight, and I was happy with that. And then spoke to Wayne a little bit because I haven't seen him obviously in 10 days, and then went to sleep probably around 12:30. Woke up quite nicely this morning though, wasn't too tired, and I'm not feeling too tired now, which is amazing, because I really thought I'd be knackered, but actually I'm doing all right. So I think that's all the updates. I presume I'm not going to film anything between now and Friday probably, and even then I don't know because it'll be Shabbat. So I think this is where I'm gonna leave this for now. If there's anything else to share I will, but otherwise I will probably not see you until Sunday, which is the day that I'm going to see the Kadri concert, which is crazy and very exciting, although I do also have a very, very early start. Why did I do that to myself? I know why, but not ideal. I have so much I need to sort over the next few days. It's just go, 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 go. But it's gonna be okay. I'm gonna get out of this because I'm very warm and try and write down those lines and then go to bed because I am tired. But I had a great night. I've had a great week. I've had a great 2 weeks. I'm very happy. But I am ready for things to calm down just a little, I think. Yay! Hello. I've got about 5 minutes before I have to go. It has been manic. I was meant to be at my grandmother's at 5:15, which meant I probably would leave home at 5. And I was meant to finish work at 2, so I would have been home around 2:15. So I would have had, you know, almost 3 hours to do the things I wanted to do. I don't know if I mentioned yesterday, but I have a audition I need to do. And I decided to just do it when I got home. I actually also ended up getting home later because I was walking with one of my colleagues and we were chatting, and so I didn't get home till after 2:30, plus I needed to have lunch. So I did both those things. I then did the audition, which I have sent off. It's definitely not the best I could have done, but it's probably the best I can do in the next 24 hours. I think if I try and film something tomorrow night, it's not going to be much better. In fact, I think it's quite likely it'll be worse. So I figured just do it, send it off, then it's off my chest. And I'm still pleased with what I presented. It wasn't like, you know, absolute rubbish. So I did that, I had my lunch, I've showered. I also filmed a favourites video so that I can edit it while I'm in Holland. I had another video planned for the date that it's meant to go up, but that's a more complicated video and takes longer, and I've just not had the chance or the time to film it. So that's gonna be, you know, a week later or 2 weeks later, I don't know. But at least I've done the favourites video, I've done all the other things, I showered, I had time to shower and change, which is great. The one thing that's not good, that I only realised about 15 minutes ago, I got a set. Basically, we have prayer books. This is one version of what the daily prayer book looks like. I actually have 1 or 2 other versions in this house, and there's thousands of other versions in life. But we have special ones for the Jewish holidays, and today is the biggest Jewish holiday, and I got a beautiful set that's white for Rosh Hashanah and for Yom Kippur, and I think even Sukkot as well, although maybe that doesn't have a special thing, I don't know. And I only remembered it sort of, as I say, 15 minutes ago. So I was quickly scrambling in the obvious places where it might be, and it's not there. And I'm wondering if it's with my winter stuff, if I'd planned to already have unpacked, which I should have by now, but it's not anywhere easily found and I need to leave. So they will have them in shul, I'm not too worried. I will check quickly at my grandmother's just in case I left them there, but I'm fairly confident that I brought them over here. Or I left them in Australia, that's possible too. But anyway, I'm gonna pack up, put my shoes on, drink some more water and go. I can't believe I even had time to vlog. This afternoon's been manic, but we did it. Yay! Hello. It's around 9:30 and I feel very good about today. I made a long list of things I wanted to get done sort of from yesterday until this evening, and a lot of them were things I couldn't do during Shabbat, but I've still been able to smash everything out and tidy up as well a little bit, so that all feels really good. I cannot believe that I am going to see Kadri tomorrow. That is crazy. I don't yet have the ticket to hand, and it's actually going to Wayne first, so I really want to make sure that he keeps an eye out for it tomorrow morning while I am traveling. Because I went for the cheapest option, I've ended up doing something a little bit silly. I should be landing around 10 to 10 Belgian time, which to me is very... Oh, I thought it was suspicious because a flight should usually take 1 hour, but I forgot about time difference. So I'll be arriving into Brussels around 10 to 10, but there was either a coach for £3 to Antwerp at 9:35, which obviously I won't make, but then the next one wasn't until 12:35. So that's the one I've taken, and I'll still get there. I mean, the show doesn't start till 3, so I'm not worried. But equally, I wouldn't have minded getting an earlier coach and just waiting around in Antwerp and at least being nearer. Because once I get to the stadium, or whatever you want to call it, concert hall. In my head I want to call it the Sportpaleis, but I know it's changed names now. Anyway, once I get there, I need to obviously check that my ticket is legit, but I also need to find a locker to put my bag in. And I just don't want to be stressing. They said the doors open around an hour and a half before the show starts, and I'd love to just be able to be one of the first ones in, but I think that's highly unlikely. I think if I get in before 2, I'll be lucky. But we'll see what happens. I've really tried to avoid seeing anything from the show. I think I've seen 2 costumes already, which is a shame, but had to happen. Well, it didn't. If I'd really been strict with myself, I just wouldn't have checked Instagram after Shabbat. But I subconsciously, like I wasn't even thinking about not wanting to see Kadri spoilers. I clicked into Instagram and literally the first thing I saw was a clip from Kadri, and then when I clicked on something else, I saw another thing. But I literally immediately covered it with my hand. So I only saw a glimpse of the costumes, and I think I saw the hairstyles as well, but you know, it's not the end of the world. But I really want to try and go in fresh and not expecting anything. If I was going to a later show, then obviously that would be fine. But because I'm the 4th show that they're doing, I think I can, you know, try and avoid seeing footage from the first 3 shows. I'm very excited. I've had Kadri songs in my head. I mean, I've had them in my head since they first announced they were reuniting, but especially all day today. It's been in my head. The one that's currently playing is Yeah Yeah Yippee, which means nothing to you guys. I'm very excited to be going. I'm very excited to be going back to Holland and seeing family again, but I am ready to just like come back to London and settle down. I mentioned in my Dear Hopefuls video today, well, I filmed it today, it's for tomorrow. Oh, I just realised I've accidentally uploaded it early. Oh well, these things happen. I mentioned that we've got 2 more sets of Jewish holidays. The first of which I will be in Holland, and then the second of which will be just after I get back. I get back Sunday evening, and it's Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday. And I think once we get to the end of that, then life can calm down a little bit. But I feel like time is racing, absolutely racing forwards. I really want to do my changeover of clothes. I mean, this is a summer top. I've got limited winter clothes, and it's still warm enough at the moment that I can get away with it, but I need to do a swap. Also, I mentioned on the Dear Hopefuls video, I am loving the weather the last sort of since I've got back. In Holland, it was quite warm, but here it has been so perfect. You know, just that slight chill, but definitely not cold, and very windy and rainy, and leaves are changing colour and falling down, and I love it so much. I really, really, really love autumn. But by the time like I'm ready to fully commit to autumn, it's gonna be winter. Like this, it's just crazy. Anyway, I'm going to leave this here. I don't know sort of where the videos are ending and starting, because obviously I have a lot of footage from the last time I went to Holland, but then there hasn't been that much since I got back before I'm going again. So I'm not quite sure how I'm gonna split things. But I am very excited and nervous for tomorrow. I'm nervous just about getting to the airport, I think, and getting there on time. I need to be up at like 4 in the morning, potentially earlier. So not thrilled about that. And then it's a long journey to the airport, and I'm only allowing 2 hours before I get there, which should be fine, but it is Heathrow, so it's a big airport. It's not like, you know, Luton or Stansted where I can get away with, you know, slipping in. But hopefully it'll go smoothly, and then obviously I get to Brussels and have things to do there, and you know, getting to Antwerp and the show, and then I'm going to family, and then I'm sleeping over there the night, and then Monday morning I'm back on a bus to Holland. I want to be able to enjoy the show and, you know, be fully focused, if you will, or whatever you want to call it, but after that I'm gonna want bed. Like, I'm gonna be tired, and then same on the Monday, I am going to be tired, but it's okay. It's fun. And then I've got a week with no real plans in Holland, so it should be fairly chill. I think everything is prepared. I'm hoping to get to bed by about 10:30. I'm giving myself another hour just to watch some stuff or chill or whatever, and then I'm gonna try to sleep so that I can at least be somewhat functioning when I have to go to the airport. Obviously, I will sleep on the plane as well, hopefully. All right, one way or another, I'll see you tomorrow.